Hello friends. Well, now that I have your attention with the title of this video, allow me to explain myself a little bit. My premise here is that the value of precious metal will actually dip in the event of a currency collapse in the United States. Right now we think of the value of precious metals in dollars per ounce, but that thinking will go away with the dollar and will shift to products per ounce, or products for products in a bartering system. And the effect this will have on our supply chain will be crippling, because with no ability to exchange currency for gas, the supply of gas will be greatly decreased. So your average farmer who produces wheat or harvests eggs from chickens or whatever, his existing supply chain is going to change a little bit, and he's going to have to exchange half of his products for distribution, if he's even able to distribute it. So the effect will be lower supply, higher price, and probably bare shelves at your average grocery store, especially in the event of looting. And this will last until there's a replacement currency and the infrastructure evolves and turmoil subsides a little bit. So hopefully you live near a farmer or some supply of food, whether it's the ocean and you can fish or whatever. But here's a couple of other examples. This is a 25-pound bag of rice, and I got that at Costco, or you can get it at Sam's Club or your local grocery store or whatever. But that cost me $10, and that represents 40,000 calories, which is almost enough food for one person for a month, or nearly a week's supply of food for a family of 4. So if you think of that bag of rice and you throw that over your shoulder and take it to your neighbor, and your neighbor happens to have silver, how many ounces of silver is that bag of rice worth? Well, if he does have silver and he has a family of 4 and they're starving, it's probably worth whatever he has. And so would I sell that bag of rice for an ounce of silver? Probably not, but let's say I do. Well, I've instantly doubled the value of that rice, or the value of the precious metal is now cut by 50%. So I think it would probably be more like 10 ounces of silver for that bag of rice. But anyway, it depends on how it plays out. But that's an example of how the value will dip initially. Same with any comfort item. I mean, if someone does have an amount of silver that they can part with some, then toiletries and medicine and such will be worth a lot. I mean, how many, if you have someone in your family that's in pain, how many ounces of silver would you pay, to alleviate them of some of that pain? So next is booze. I mean, if your local bar just down the street runs out of booze because the supply chain is crippled, how much is he going to give you for that bottle of tequila? Well, it costs $20 right now. But if he's able to keep the shop open and sell, shots for a dime, then suddenly the value of that bottle is increased to well above what the value of silver is right now. So you might be able to get, 5 or 10 ounces of silver for that bottle. Another example. So, and in the event of a collapse, if there is the looting and there's starvation and rioting and crime, and that's my only bandolier of shotgun shells, how many ounces of silver is that worth to me? Well, I mean, I've probably paid, $100 for all those bullets now, but after a collapse, that's going to be worth 100 ounces of silver to me to protect my family and safety. So other examples, I think cigarettes will probably be worth a lot, cooking oil, medicine of any kind, firewood, booze especially. But it's food for thought, and the basic point of this is that silver stackers out there, when it initially collapses, you're not going to be able to go to a coin dealer and exchange it for currency, or necessarily go to the store and buy supplies. You need to plan for the initial turmoil first and hold on to your silver, and maybe even increase your stack if you've planned appropriately. So thanks for watching, and I hope you comment.